Hello, fellow traders. Welcome to the live show with Rob. Nothing I say here constitutes financial advice. Most traders lose money. If you're unsure, you probably shouldn't even be trading. Gotta put that in. You guys know that, though. I'm pretty sure you all know that already. How are you all doing? How's it going? Hope you guys are all still really well, making loads of money trading, even though the markets have been rather interestingly, let's say, volatile. But you need volatility to make money, but sometimes these things can go just a little bit insane. Let's go and have a look at the charts and see where we stand at the moment. Yeah, people are standing up and saying things. Sometimes it's better just to sit on the sidelines and be patient and just wait for things to happen. Other times you need to trade. And yeah, we did take a trade on Brent crude oil here, and that has gone in the right direction. So the last couple of trades have done okay. Yeah, they've made some profit. JAP 225, Great British Pound US dollar, that was David's trade. And Great British Pound Japanese yen, that's done okay. So yeah, that's not too bad. That's looking up, as they say. On the other account, let's just see if we can get on there and just have a look at that. Let's just see, there's the news. That's the news. I'll show you quickly the other. Where are we here? Yahoo Finance, the news. And on this one, that one is doing okay. That one has got, let's just have a look at the positions. Yeah, it's doing okay. Two of the trades are up, one of the trades a bit down. So that's not too bad. That's okay. I'll talk about that account in a video near you, coming soon. Coming soon to you. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that particular group and account. But for now, we'll carry on with this. And this is the one that we are trading together. So this is the one for us. How are you doing, Shane? Are you having internet difficulties? I tell you, that happens a lot these days. I can tell you that on my side, that I've had a few difficulties as well over the last, I don't know, week or so. Couldn't even get my phone to connect at one stage. But I've got these deco things that the internet, or the Wi-Fi itself, I put them all over the house because it's quite a big place. And what it does, it kind of works in the cloud and it sends the information to that, and whichever one's closest or whatever the case. And it works that somehow. Because the normal range extenders and the normal, the modems with range extension and stuff like that didn't work. It's just too far. I got this whole, what they call a deco system. It's actually amazing. And you just put them all over the house and it just picks it up and it just sends all the information to wherever you want. You get an app on your phone where you can control it and stuff. Works really well, actually. It's actually quite cool. It's a great thing. What's happening with the US 500 these days? The US 500 has been a little bit tricky. Remember, we said it would go back into this level and then start falling back, and that's exactly what it's doing. Exactly what it's doing, and people are nervous as to who's going to say what next. A lot of traders are just staying out of the market right now and just not getting in there. They're just not sure what's going to happen next. And I've seen this before. I've seen it over and over and over again. When you take a bit of a knock, or when the markets take a bit of a knock like they have in the recent times, then you get this feeling of, I don't really want to trade now. I don't really want to get in because you're not sure what's going to happen next. And I've seen it over and over again. Don't worry about it. Don't feel that way. Just trade what you see and just, get around it. The fundamentals, they can give you a headache. Kevin's here. Shane, Kevin's here. Yeah, gold's going to the moon. Where's gold? Do I have it on here? Yeah, there's gold. There's gold. Gold's off to the moon. There you go. The moon and not back. Okay, so what I'm looking at with gold has gone really nicely. I was actually looking at it this morning, to be quite honest with you, and I saw this and I thought, this is interesting. And this is what I saw. Let me see if I can draw in for you guys. And this is what I saw. I didn't draw in. Sometimes these things won't let me just do what I want to do. There you go. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see it. For those guys who know what demand is, there it is. There's money lying here. So there's a good chance that this could actually just pull back to this level and go up. That would be great. I mean, that would actually be quite an interesting little trade if you think about it. Look at this. I mean, it just needs to come back into there, take that money and shoot straight back up again, and off she goes. So I'm thinking, yeah, that looks reasonable for a nice trade. But I would wait for it to get back down to this level because that's where the money is. And it's a bit early to take it now, although you could. Or it could create a little bit of a flag pattern along here, sort of bounce around, and then shoot to the upside and get going. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, gold is really bullish at the moment. Some people are calling it all the way to 7,000. Others are calling it to 1,500. So which way are you going? What's your feeling on the matter here? What's your feeling on the matter? My feeling on the matter is it'll probably settle back eventually. But I think now that it's in the 3,000s, it's in all likelihood probably either going to stay in the 3,000s. Worst case scenario, it gets back to the high 2,000s. And best case scenario, it gets up to maybe close to 4,000. But I don't think it's going to go to 7,000 or anything like that. At the moment, it's an emotional purchase. There's a lot of people out there, like I said the other day, that are really excited about gold. People that have never actually invested in anything, never invested in the markets, never got invested in shares or anything like that, are just buying gold because they're worried about what's going to happen to the world. You know, they're listening to all this. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the news that's available to us out there these days is not really genuine. It's not really good. Not that it ever has been great, but you know, if you listen to a lot of it, it's a lot of fear mongering out there. There's a lot of people telling you the world's going to end, and this one's going to attack that one, and this one's going to do that, and everybody's just totally confused, and a lot of people are probably pretty scared and pretty unsure of what's going to happen next. Now, one of the best trades or best things that you can do is have assets to trade with, and in an inflationary environment like we're heading into right now. And as I said in the last video, like all the people in overseas in America and UK and that haven't experienced this kind of inflation until recently. Whereas here in Africa, we've been experiencing inflation like this all our lives. It's been insane. But a lot of people in Europe and America have not experienced this kind of inflation, and it maybe is a bit scary. And so gold is the safe haven, or assets. You know, it's better to hold assets than cash. If you're an older person who's got a lot of cash or a lot of pension cash or something to that effect lying around, you need to do something with it, and you need to do something with it fast. Because if you don't, when you blink your eyes, it's going to be worthless. And that's the problem with inflation. So I don't know. I'm just going to use a round figure. Let's say you've got $1 million in the bank account and you're thinking, I've worked all my life for this $1 million and that's all I've got. So you've got this $1 million in the bank account and you're kind of living off it and you're thinking, well, I'm, heading for 70, this is great. Trouble is, in 10 years, it could be worthless, and that's how quick inflation can take it over. So what I would do with that is invest it in something like a share portfolio or a property portfolio or something reasonable. I wouldn't say commodities are the best. And most people, what they do is they dive straight for the gold. They dive straight for the commodities. And as I've said to you guys before, the trouble with commodities is they're cyclical. They go up and they go down. They don't hold that value for you. And the only value you get out of the commodity is you buy it for 3,000 today. And then when you sell it, you're selling it at the equivalent of what you bought it for, less fees. Because even if it's more expensive, the inflation takes it up to that price and the value is still pretty much the same. You're not getting anything out of it. You're not getting a growth factor out of a commodity at the end of the day. So this is a very unusual event, what's happened with gold this year, where it's shot up as it has. And like I said to you, we used to have a guy in South Africa called Clive Roffey, and he always used to tout gold, 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 gold. I mean, for 20 years, he was talking about gold, and it was always at 1,000, 1,004. It never went anywhere. And now, if he's around to see this, he's probably thinking, wow, finally gold did something. But I mean, really, if you'd invested your money in it then and it went to this, all you've done is effectively doubled your money. But you could have done much better over the 20 years, or 25 years. So, yeah, just saying. Fib extension says 3644 for gold. That's great. You might get it, and that is an obvious possibility. But I would look for a better option to buy, because what you are looking at is while we don't want to have the supermarket mentality, we are looking at a very overbought situation. And what I'm thinking on this is let it relax a bit. It's a bit like let the elastic band just soften a little bit, and then pull it again and go, or maybe reload, reload the powder or whatever the case. Let it just reload a bit. It's shot up. Let it reload a bit and then go. Then you get a good trade. But unfortunately for me, gold has been doing a strange thing to me lately. I wait for a trade, and then it happens while I'm sleeping for some odd, unknown, phenomenal reason. It's got, I don't know, maybe it'll work for you guys in Australia and China and that sort of thing. But here on my side, these spikes just seem to be happening when I'm napping on the gold. So I've been missing the gold quite a lot lately. It's coffee with Rob, so we're having coffee. So I take it you guys are all realize that it's Easter. So the markets are not going to be open tomorrow in most areas, most places. So we're not going to do a trade of the day. In fact, we're not even going to talk trading tomorrow. Just might as well just take the day off, guys, because ain't nothing going to happen. And it's actually, even if there are some markets open, maybe crypto will be or something like that, it's not a good time to trade because all your pros go on holiday. You must remember that all the money that moves things in the market comes from the pros. And when I refer to pros, I don't mean people with 30 years experience like me. I'm not that person. What I'm referring to is people that are working in these financial firms with massive qualifications and what have you, do all the trading for, Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan and all these types of guys, the banks and what have you. Those are your pros, and they got big portfolios and they're trading for huge sums of money for people, and for people that are invested with some pensions, things like that. And so those guys go on holiday. They go on holiday on Friday. What are you're going to be trading against a few retail traders on very, very low volume. And I just want to show you something quickly with volume while we're here. Let me just take this to that other chart. It's actually quite interesting. I wanted to show you guys this. Let me do it while we can. Let me just find it here. It just takes me a few seconds to find these things, and then I get around it. It's no problem. Okay, here we are. And I just want to go to this trading platform, and I just want to show you something here. For example, here, this is a good example. I'm just going to take this up into a large size. Now you can see here quite clearly that there's a volume index at the bottom here. And what you're going to look out for is if you get a huge amount of volume, but a small amount of movement, then it's actually quite a reasonably serious move. But if you get a tiny little bit of volume and you get a huge amount of movement, that you got to watch out for that. That means it's almost like a fake trade. It's like not happening. Something's wrong. And that's what you get when everybody goes on holiday. You're going to get tiny amounts of volume. You're going to get these huge moves from the retail traders, and you just got to keep your eyes open for that. You see here's a matching one where you get a lot of volume and you get a big move. That matches, that works, so that makes sense. But when you get like a huge volume move, and I mean a huge move and very little volume, it's kind of like, is that real? Is that actually happening? So keep your eyes open for that when you're looking at volume. If the volume's very low and the movement's very low, very high, then something's fishy. So you just look at that and make sure that it's a good trade or a good signal that you're getting. Just out of interest, it's just something you can use to your advantage. Wow, which trade is going bad? Let's see. Euro, Great British Pound is still positive. I think it might be the US dollar. ZAR. Don't know, that one looks okay. Brent crude oil, still okay, still going well. I don't know, something fishy going on there. Nvidia is taking a knock, isn't it? Hasn't really done great. Yeah, it's funded market. What's going on with this? Doesn't want to work. No problem. Let's go back to our normal charts and let's carry on with what we're doing. Just thought I'd just quickly show you guys that volume thing. Just keep an eye out for that. If you've got, make sure the volume kind of matches the show, matches the movement. But I don't bother with it. I don't even worry about it these days. I used to worry about it. I don't even switch it on these days. I just leave it off. But that, yeah, be careful. Don't worry about volume profiles with things like Forex or gold, because it doesn't fit in there. It's good for shares and it's good for indexes. Okay. Yeah, Monday the markets will be open and I will give trade of the day and all that sort of thing on Monday, but just be cautious on Monday. As Kevin says, they'll be on holiday on Monday as well. And Rosha, I know you keep saying you want to share your strategy, but please stop begging and stop begging people to give you money, all right? That's not how it works, okay? We're here to show people how to trade, and that's what we're here for. New Zealand dollar, US dollar long. Please provide me, you see, this Shane, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Yeah, New Zealand dollar, US dollar was looking pretty good earlier. I'm just going to put it on that. I've got a US dollar CAD trader on somewhere as well. I must actually check where it is. Yeah, that's another one I took on, guys. I took on a US dollar Canadian dollar. It's not on this platform, but I took it on another platform. And that one was doing okay. It came out of here. So keep an eye out for that one, guys. That one was going long. Now let's just check the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Sure, yeah, that's a good trade. It's looking really powerful, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. I just want to put this back to US dollar, Canadian dollar here. And I just want to go over here because I got New Zealand dollar, US dollar with some stuff on it here. Yeah, there we go. We can just have a look quickly. I do like this. I do like this a lot. But there's a triple top here that it just needs to break through. And okay, so let's just see Shane, New Zealand dollar, US dollar long. Totally. It has run quite hard, this New Zealand dollar, US dollar. It has run quite hard. Has it come back all the way and retested? I wonder. That might be it. Yeah, it's retested there and it's gone up. Let's see if it breaks through that triple top there. There is a triple top here. I don't know if you guys saw it. There's a triple top there that it's running across. Maybe it just needs to break through that, but it looks good. That looks like a reasonable trade to look at. Double top at the moment. Oh, the old win rate. Oh, Kevin, yeah. Croatia, enough. Okay, please, enough. Stop trying to sell your product, all right? This is not the place to sell your product. We're like-minded traders here. We're helping each other. Please, enough, okay? You're touting a win rate on a channel that feels nothing about a win rate, okay? Goodness me. I mean, I don't want to block you out of here, Croatia, but I'm going to have to if you keep on going, okay? Just stop it. The old win rate, yeah, Kevin. Okay, so I think if we break through that, it's probably going to go to the upside even further. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar. There was where's the Aussie dollar, US dollar? Must be doing something similar. And look at that. Aussie dollar has also got a double top on it. Look at this, guys. The Aussie dollar's also got a double top on it over here. Never easy, is it? There we go. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Look at the top on the Aussie dollar. Shane, just be careful. You see the New Zealand dollar, US dollar has got that top on it. And the Aussie dollar, US dollar follows it very closely. And look at the level on that, right? That's a solid level, eh? That really has to break through that. It really does have to break through that. Yeah, it is. It's almost identical, but there's more confluence on the left here, stronger. So yeah, that's a strong top, eh? That's a really strong top. So let's just be careful of that. It's an interesting trade though. Very interesting trade. I like it though. If it breaks through that, I like it. I like it if it breaks through that. So yeah, keep in mind, guys, Aussie dollar, US dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar kind of correlates a bit. They follow each other quite a lot, probably because they're from the same region. And then of course the dollar also moves things around. Yeah, it could break through or turn around. I mean, the fall is insane if it turns around. Look at the distance. Yeah, no, that's quite big. There is a level here though. There is a level that could hold it up. But if it breaks through that, there's a long fall down, which could be tricky. Because, if you look at where Aussie dollar has been for a long time, it's been around this level ranging. Then she dropped down quite far. Now she's come back up, and it's kind of hitting this ranging area, this level that's been sitting at for a long time. It did break through that a while back, but it was in December. So it's been sitting here the whole year. Yeah, let's just see what it does. Let's just keep an eye on that. That might be a great trade. Does it look good on the higher time frames? I haven't actually looked ever. Weekly does look like a buy. It's strong. Does look strong. And daily, even on the daily, but I'd still like it to just push through that level a bit. Just give us a little bit more of a, let's go for it. Let's do this. Let's put an alert on it if we get anything soon rather than later. Then we can deal with that. Okay, we can get on it. How's it, Daniel? All there. Good. Fantastic. Good to have you all on board here. I know I did start the show a little bit earlier today, guys. That's my thing, my doing. Just thought I'd get in a bit earlier, with a long weekend coming up and whatnot. A lot of people will start getting rather holidayish later on. They'll start taking the weekend off, I'm actually, I got lots of things to do, so that's fine. I don't mind. I haven't had public holidays all my life. I've always been working. Yeah, you could put a pending order above as well, but you got to watch out for those spikes. At the moment in the markets, like I said, there's a lot of traders that are actually even just sitting out of the market because of all the things that are going on. But what's actually happening, a lot of traders are just waiting on the sidelines because every time old Donald stands up and says something, or something happens in the market, or China says something, or whatever the case, then the markets just jump around like crazy, and you never know which way it's going. So you're not getting any normality out of it. And I'm used to that. That's happened in the past, and it's going to happen over and over again. It happens so many times in the world, but it can affect your trading. And you're starting to look at the things are changing a bit. Sometimes it's good just to take a step back and just look at what's happening and be careful of these things. So you see, the pending order becomes a problem in a market like we're sitting with now, because you put a pending order in, it shoots up, takes the pending order, and then dives back down again because somebody stood up and said something silly. That's actually a little bit better at the moment to do it manually and just keep an eye on it. It's a bit like the trailing stop losses that we got whacked out last week. We got whacked on so many trailing stop losses. It was crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So I'm just trying to keep an eye on them now. Just trying to keep a distance on them. Shane, it's actually better if we don't hold trades over Easter. I always tell you guys on the weekend it's better to be out of it, and particularly because things can happen over the weekend. But now you're sitting with almost a 4-day period where things can go down. But at least, okay, let's say 3 days, because Monday the markets will be open, so you'll be able to get in and out of the trades on Monday. But if there's bad news or any news that affects the markets, it could hurt. Look, if you've got a funded accounts, it's okay. It doesn't matter. And in fact, I might just keep this Brent crude oil trade. Just hold on to it and not worry too much. But yeah, it's even trading overnight on the cash accounts and things like that, I sometimes get nervous going to sleep thinking, "Ooh, there's a lot of trades on there overnight." Can be tricky. But you've got the auto stops and the market's only closed for a short while. So it's okay. You're normally okay overnight. But weekends can be quite serious. You just got to watch out for that. And at the moment, I always say, if I'm short on an index over the weekend, I'll sleep happily because I know generally there's not enough good news to make it go up. But at the moment, there's enough things that could happen that would be really, really good that could almost insanely move the markets up on a Monday morning. So that could also be a problem. So I'm watching out for that as well. So even the short trades are a little bit nerve-wracking at the moment over the weekends. On this 25K account, we've actually not made any money because this is the group 25K account. I've made tons of money on my other accounts. That's a different ballgame. But on this account this year, we haven't had a good run. And actually on my main account, I haven't had a good run this year either. But no, we haven't made any money on this account this year. It's been rather slow, to say the least. That's life, eh? Been a bit of a tricky year. Yeah, I don't know if things will, maybe things will calm down. The trick is to be patient and to understand that it'll come. It always does. Things will go in your favor. Things will work out. Things will start turning around. We had a bad week and now we've had a much better week. So we'll see how it goes, see how it picks up. But yeah, no, it has been a bit of a dodgy couple of months. And it is, when you get all these people saying strange things and whiplashes your stop losses out, that sort of thing. You can trade Bitcoin over the weekends. As I say, though, what you have to keep in mind is who's trading. Most of your pros go home for the weekend and they don't worry about trading. Yeah, no. Seriously. As I've said before, no random channel asked to make money on the 25K account. As I've said before, most of my income comes from the investments. Time in the market, not timing the market. I always told you guys, invest. That's where your money will come from at the end of the day. Trading is a bit of fun and it's a bit of excitement. Now, I'm actually having fun with these funded accounts, to be quite honest with you, because it's less stressful than my cash account, to be honest. The cash account gets a bit of a knock. You sort of take a lot of pain, but the funded accounts, it kind of doesn't bother me that much. Don't stand to lose as much money. But yeah, no. Normally, by now, this time of the year, you would have made quite a bit of money on those accounts, but this year has just been weird for me. Been a strange year. You should be able to trade BTC over the weekends. It's unusual that you can't trade it over the weekends because it's an open market. It's open for trading. But like I say, the problem you've got is who you're trading with, who you're trading against, who's there. That's been kind of insane. Well, that said, the other accounts kind of in profit. Let's just have a look quickly. Just want to see here. Just want to have a look here. Boom. Okay, this account's $14 down now. This one's 24,983. Earlier on, it was in profit. Okay, yeah. Can't win them all, can you? Yeah. Let's go back to the normal one that we trade together. Yep. There we go. That's perfect. There we go. This one needs a bit of help. Well, Brent crude oil is doing okay. It's $50 up today. So this week, last week we had a big knock. We lost 1, 2, 3, 4, well, no, 4 big trades, okay? But this week we've won 3. One wasn't great, and the other 2, so we put the money back. And if we win this Brent one, then we'll sort of even up, which is great. It's not too bad. The JAP 225, that took its profit while I wasn't there, and it took the profit level, which was great. The Great British Pound JPY took out the trailing stop at a serious profit, so that was okay. And the Great British Pound US dollar also took out its trailing at a nice profit, which is okay. So everybody thought that one might lose. So that's actually been okay this week. Not too bad at all, to be fair. It's okay. How's it, Greg? Good to see you again. Long on Brent. Yes, we are long on Brent. See, Shane, we are long on Brent there. Bye. Okay. But we bought it at 65.88 on this one. I noticed the prices are different on the other one, but on this one it's at least showing at 67. And I bought it on the other platforms as well. But the other platforms are showing a different price, which is kind of odd. But it's okay. You know, it is what it is. But I bought it on like 3 different places. Cash account, on the other funded account, and on this one as well. So, oh yeah, and there's another one too. Jeez, how many accounts you got? Okay, Croatia, enough. Okay, I keep telling you one more time. I'm seriously, I'm just gonna, I don't know. Let me just see something here. I'm seriously, yeah. You're going in a timeout for 10 minutes, Croatia. You're in a timeout. Okay. You can't post anything for 10 minutes. I have to see how you feel after 10 minutes. Okay. No more chats for 10 minutes for you. Order at 6. Well done, Kevin. That's a good buy. That's excellent. So guys, that's what's going to happen. If we get people that are doing that and not listening and trying to sell stuff and carry on, and you warn them. First warning, I'm putting you in a timeout for 10 minutes, and that's what I've done now. Okay. And so he'll be in a timeout for 10 minutes, and he comes back and does it again, then we have to look at something else, because it's really irritating, and we don't need that. We really don't need that. Okay. So, as I always tell you guys, my goal is not to make you rich, it's to make you competent. I'd like to make you rich. I'd like to make everyone rich, but if you want to get rich, you have to invest. You have to invest in the market and hold the money there. But staying in cash at the moment is a really bad idea. Inflation is going to go through. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. You're quite right, sir. I think that's most likely. Okay, to be fair, I'd say it's the first person that's been a pest on the chat or the live show. And on the Discord, we had another one that kept trying to defraud everyone or say that they're me and whatnot. We had that. But yeah, you're right. To be fair, that's probably the first person we've had it on our group that's been like that, yeah. Brent might hit resistance. Okay. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. It might. Let's have a look. Sorry, the price on this one is completely different. I'd say the resistance is up here quite high, but there might be... No, I think it's actually still quite high. I think the resistance is up there. Much higher up. I think we've got some space to move. Some room to maneuver, let's say. Some room to maneuver. Not too badly off here. Okay. Cool. There we go. Yeah, I know, Shane. It's the same. What can you do? Oh, you got the fib. Yeah, of course, you're using the fib. Yeah. But Brent is kind of breaking to the upside. The main reason I took the Brent trade in with a situation like now where the world is a bit iffy and things are up and down and nobody's really sure what's going where is because I know from past history that the Brent trade, anything between 65 and 105 is normally a slam dunk. So I'm kind of basing my philosophy on that. That the trade looks good, it's broken to the upside, it's broken through, and it looks like it wants to go up, and it's at that price level. So it looks good. There's a lot of things going for it. Yeah, Daniel, sadly, unfortunately, that's how it is. Everybody's got their issues and whatnot. Everybody, you know, is trying to make money. I get it, and that's how life is. But you know, don't bug people and don't beg and don't come on. You say no, it's no. That's the one thing I've learned is people don't understand the word no. I don't know why. Uh, yeah, that this person copies me. Even if I change the picture, he copies the picture every time. You've got to be careful. But as I say on Discord, I will never try to sell you guys anything on Discord. So don't buy anything off anyone on Discord. Hmm. It's not me. Yeah, insane. Anything that I've got for sale, like or affiliated to me or what have you, will be done here on YouTube through a link in the description or you know a sponsor or something like that. But that helps the channel. But I'm not going to try and sell you guys anything outside of that. So if you get someone trying to sell you something outside of that, it's not me. Um, yeah. Yeah, no, it's been a better week this week, and the the cash account looked a bit better this week, so I'm good. And the investments are doing insanely well. That's crazy. My investment account is, I'm so happy with that. I could, I don't know, but yeah, I don't worry too much about small things. I don't worry too much about the daily. The daily. See, the thing is, especially if you start out, you find yourself checking your profits and losses every minute, every 5 minutes, every hour, every day. Whereas I'm laid back on that these days, where I know I've got the whole year to do something with it, and I might start getting nervous if I'm not there really close to the end of the year. But through the year, it's gonna go up and down. It's gonna make you the profits, but that's the strategy, guys. You just want to make more at the end of the day. And you're going to take some losses. And sometimes you take the losses in the beginning and you make the profits in the end. And sometimes you make the profits in the beginning and you take the losses in the end. And that's probably more demoralizing than if you do it the other way around, because if you've made all that profit and then the end of the year takes some of it away, that can hurt sometimes. You feel like you've done all that work and it gets wiped out. It actually feels much better the way it's happening this year, where you actually take a bit of a knock in the beginning and the second part of the year brings it all back to you. That's actually much more satisfying, I must say, because you get that sort of satisfaction of making loads of profit and money rolling in and it starts doing well, and you're not feeling like you're losing something that you made in the year. But I do make my timing over a period of a year, January to January. The tax year is February to February, but I make my year January to January, and I work in it that way. And I see, did I have a break even? Did I make profit? Did I make a loss? How did my year go? I must say I've had very few losing years on trading, very, very few. And out of most of them, I'd say probably 95% of them have been pretty much either break even or profit. So I can't complain. The amount of profit, it's always difficult to say. You have insanely good years and you have years that bring you 10%. You have other years that average the 25-30%. So, but in general, you're going to make, on average, 25-30% over a period of a year. That's how much money you make. That's how it goes. And that's why I say, when people say, can you make money out of trading? I get that question all the time. And to make money out of trading, let's be honest, you need some capital. You need a bit of capital. And if you don't have the capital, you're going to have to go and get a funded account. And that's why we have this funded account here for you guys. If the guys that don't have capital can go and get one, the link's in the description for you. That one, yeah, I can send you to there and you can go and get something. But yeah, for those guys, I was actually totally adverse to funded accounts all my career. I thought it was a load of old rubbish. And but now I realize that it actually helps people get involved in trading. And it's an entry point for someone that doesn't have $20,000 or $100,000 to put in the market to make money with, and you get an 80% or 90% profit share from whatever you make. So it's a good way to get involved, and especially if you don't have the cash to get involved with, because it's like anything, and I've said it in my videos as well. If you go and open a factory, or you go and open a shop, you're going to need capital to do that. You're going to need some kind of capital to put the shelves in, get the staff in, get the tills in, get the stock in, whatever the case, or a factory to get the conveyor belts in, whatever the case. And somehow or another, you think with trading you don't need capital, but you do. You need capital. You're not going to make money with $200. I'm telling you, you're not. You know, you can play with it. Yeah, of course you can trade with $200. You can trade with $100 if you want to. You're not going to get rich out of it. You're going to have fun with it, okay? And so that's why I say the funded guys have actually come a long way with this. When I first saw it, I thought this is actually interesting. And then there was all this hoo-ha about it, and then lately I've started to warm to it, let's say. I've started to become more comfortable with it. It's helping us immensely here as a group where we can trade this. And I know if we lose the account, no big deal. You know, it's okay. It's $100, you know. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to bankrupt anyone. Whereas, you know, a lot of guys will say, rather than, because if you have a $25,000 account, we can literally only lose $2,500. So what they're saying is you can only trade with $2,500, and that's true, okay? But here's the thing. If I lose $2,500 on this account, I literally lose $100, okay? If I lose $2,500 on a cash account, then I lose $2,500. There's a big difference. I can take 10 of these accounts or 20 of these accounts for that. So this is actually not that bad. The trick to this is take your profits. Most of these funded account people will give you your profits every 5 days or whatever the case on demand. You can say, I've made $200, send me my money, and they'll send it to you. And then you're actually in profit because you only paid $100 for the account. So it baffles the mind, you know, how people say I lost $100,000 on prop firms. I'm like, how did you do that? You actually left that in the account? I mean, are you insane? I wouldn't do that. So yeah, I know that there's a lot of that going on. So at the moment, I'm probably in two minds, okay, as to what's better. Because I'm used to the cash account, I've always been used to it, and it's always been there, and that's what I put most of my concentration on, then I've got that, and I use that, and it's my money, and I can do what I want with it, and it comes and goes. So that account's important to me. I'm not going to move away from that. But these funded accounts are a bit of fun, and they're, for me, even after 30 years of trading, a bit of practice, actually. You know, it sort of helps you keep your mind strong, and you can try different things out and whatnot with it and not be too concerned about it. Whereas with the real money, it's kind of like, you know, if I do this, you know, I might just cause a big hassle. You know, I'm much more hesitant when I'm trading with my main account because that's big money. and you're clicking the button. It's a little bit more difficult, but you'll find that as well. Yeah, and it's actually, let's say it's better than a demo account, hey Daniel, because also you are trading for something. You're trading for a profit. You're trading for, even if it's a challenge account, it's you trading to pass that and get into the real funding and then get the money and make a profit. So it's real money at the end of the day. So it's not like a demo. So you're trading for real, and you've invested some real money in it as well. Yeah, there are 10K accounts available. And like you say, you need 100K for things to happen. Hi Ellie, welcome. Good to see you on board. That's 24 hours to live, as Ellie done. Be like a bank, use other people's money to make yourself money. And that's actually, Daniel, that you say that. When I was younger, I used to say that all the time. And effectively, with leverage trading, you are kind of doing that anyway as well, but you're still using your money to make the money. Whereas with this funded thing, you're not using your money at all. So as long as they pay you, let's say you've got a funded account that you've paid $100 for, and let's say you make $1,000. I mean, if you withdraw that money, are you really going to be upset if you make another $500 with your account and then they say, oh no, we're not paying you out, we're closed down? Yeah, you're going to be upset because you didn't get that $500, but you've actually made a huge profit on the first withdrawal anyway. So, I just don't get the guys that don't take their profit and then say, oh, I lost all my money on the prop firms, because, yeah, that makes no sense to me. Then I get what a lot of people are saying about the firms and a lot of people are saying in general, and I get the whole story and what have you. It's it doesn't go over the top of my head, I do understand it, but yeah. Okay, so I am sort of sitting back today on the trades. Okay, I'm a little bit. I haven't asked you guys for any trades today. I know a couple of you guys suggested one or two things, but I am just sitting on my hands a little bit today because we are heading into the Easter weekend, and I don't really even want this account to be sitting on those trades over the Easter weekend. I'm sitting on a couple of trades on the cash account that I'm probably going to sell out later on today, and I'm also sitting on a couple of trades on the other account, and I'm not sure if I'm going to hold on to those trades because it's a long weekend, so they need to go. The Brent trade, I'm thinking I'll keep it if it's okay. I don't know. We should be okay. I'm thinking we'll hold it and hope for the best. And I mean, it's only a funded account, so we should be okay. And they're not going to come to me on Monday morning and say, "Where's my $1 million?" Whatever, because Brent went to zero. That's all I need. Yeah, I know. Boom, boom. Yeah, that should be the goal, Daniel. I see Daniel reckoned his goal is to take the 10K funded account, grow it, and create a cash account, and that's the way to go. If you can grow a funded account, make some money with it, and then put the money into a real account and start growing it. Even if you're doing really well on the funded account, you can just keep going with it because they're still paying you 80% of the money, 90% of the money, depending on the account you got. And you can actually take that money and put it in investments, add it to investments, and just let the investments grow as well. Trouble with investments, though, is I'm addicted to them because I just keep putting money in and I just keep watching them grow, and it's exciting to watch them grow. But you never really withdraw off them. I don't withdraw off them. I just leave all the money there and I just keep putting it back and watching it grow. It's kind of an addiction. It's a weird thing. It's more addictive than trading, actually, watching it grow. So that's the only problem with investments. You tend not to take the money out. Just kind of just keep feeding it, keep putting it in there and watching it grow and watching the figure grow. And it's kind of insanity in its own way. But yeah, Maybe one day I'll make a withdrawal. I don't. I don't know when last I actually took any money out of an investment. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. To teach others to do the same, because when I can do it, everyone can. Because the real account don't have limits. As New Zealand that have broken the range, investments is key. Break your profits long term with minimal risk. Yeah, investments is key to bank your profits with long term with minimum risk. And I can, like I said, Daniel, if you never withdraw of it, it's addictive. You just watch it grow. I just want to see here New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Just a quick one for the group. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that's interesting. It's going to close in 5 minutes. Okay, and then we've got Aussie dollar, US dollar. But why isn't the Aussie dollar or US dollar breaking through? Why is only the New Zealand dollar, US dollar breaking up? Okay, let's see what it does. Oh, it's actually quite interesting. Where did I put that alert? Maybe I'll put it on the Aussie dollar, not on the New Zealand dollar. I mean, the alert was right on the line. It's probably on the Aussie dollar. Let me just check here. Price alerts. Yeah, it's on the Aussie dollar. Okay. All right. That makes sense now. But yeah, that could be a trade. Wait for the candle to close. There's only a few minutes left. See what it does. See what it does when the candle closes. Could be a good one. Yeah, Kevin, funded accounts are great. You have to have profitable, so you have to have a winning strategy first. Yeah, Kevin, but if you use this strategy and you practice with it, yeah, that's good. That's good. You have to be profitable, though, yeah. Otherwise, there's no point to it. But yeah, no, that's it. The line, Ellie, comes from, you see there's a double top there. There's a top, there's a top. It's basically the resistance, the same as this purple block, only it's a solid line resistance that I drew in, because when I see, we call this a double top, right? You get triple tops as well. If you look at the Aussie dollar, US dollar, there's a top, there's a top, there's a top. That's a triple top. Those are serious levels. So that's why I just put a line in, because that's a solid level. That's a solid level, a top like that. You get pincer tops as well, where the two candles are together. So when you see something like that, you draw a line in, and then you wait for it to do what this is doing, break through. But the candle must close on a breakthrough, and you need another candle to start going up, because it's broken the double top. And if it breaks the double top, that could be pretty strong. This could be a signal to move on upwards. The SAJSE is, well, the Rand has taken, as you know, a very nasty knock in South Africa. We've had a really nasty time of it. And the Rand is actually starting to strengthen. Now, on my other account, I am actually long on the US dollar, the ZAR, and it's gone against me a little bit, but that's okay. The SA top 40, on the other hand, is holding its own, and it's not too bad. So, yeah, you can. What can I say? I'm just looking at other charts here. But I haven't really traded much in the SA Top 40 lately, but the SA Top 40 is holding its own. It's all the way up at the 80,000. I remember when I was trading, and it was 40,000 or 30 something thousand. It's doing really well. So it's holding its own amongst all this mess. It's actually holding its own. I actually own a hell of a lot of shares in South Africa, and company wise, and they're all holding up. They're all doing well. None of them are doing badly. So it just shows. But it's got a lot to do with the rand offset, because the rand has collapsed in value. So you're kind of sitting with a situation where the shares are inflationary holding up, let's say, because the rand value is so bad, the share price is good. That's why I say buy assets. You know, if you're gonna hold on to your money, buy assets. Don't sit in cash. Yeah, but that's the thing, Daniel. You know, like particularly with my portfolios and my overseas portfolios, when the rand does badly, I'm quite excited about it because, like you, it's good for me. And also with the South African shares, even it's asset value, so I'm not upset about it. It's okay because it moves with the asset value. The market stays strong because the rand is weak, and yeah, so I got no concerns. Anyone who wants to go long on the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, you can. It's broken through and it's green. I don't really want to take any trades for the weekend, but if you want to, go for it. I'm not on the US dollar, Canadian dollar on this account. I am on another account. I actually can't remember which one. Getting confused now. Let me just check here. You guys can't see this. I'm just checking. Do I have the US dollar positions? Not on this one, no. Must be on the cash account. I am long US dollar, Canadian dollar. So, right. So, Shane, are you going long on this? Like I said, I'm not keen going on into the weekend with it, but US dollar, Canadian dollar, I'm long, Kevin. Definitely long on it. So, let me just check quickly the US dollar, Canadian dollar. It is short at the moment, but I'm long on it at these levels. So I was hoping that it would kind of bounce out of here, head on upwards, but obviously it's giving us a headache. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Short. Yeah, I'm actually long on the US dollar, Canadian dollar on the other account and holding it. But you know, if I look at it, it's sitting in the support. Where did I get in? I think I got in somewhere around here on these green candles. Or was it here? I'm not sure. Probably here, actually. Probably here. Yeah, because it broke through this yellow line, so I probably got in here. Okay, yeah. It's been going down ever since. That one I don't worry about too much. Maybe it's just going to come back and retest here. Let's just see. See what we get. Shane, if you're going long on New Zealand dollar, US dollar, we can't really go short now because it is long, eh? But the US dollar, Canadian dollar, we're doing the opposite to Shane. Shane's going short on the US dollar, Canadian dollar, and we're going long. Okay, let's see. So if Shane wins on the US dollar, Canadian dollar, then you'll have to go opposite to everything I say. Yeah, no, totally. Okay. Only trouble with that is, Shane, you called this one long now, so this is a good long though. This is actually a good long trade. But I don't know if you guys want to go into the long weekend with these trades. It might be a little bit on the hectic side. Yeah, as long as you guys know that the market is 50-50. It's a 50-50 market. You know, there's so many different ways that you can take a trade, so many different systems that you can use. And like I always tell you guys, every single system works. There isn't a system that doesn't work. So, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of bad feeling between those two countries. You're quite right. There's an insane amount of bad feeling between them at the moment. It's getting out of hand if you think about it. Yeah, sure. I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. Go crazy. Okay, so what are we going to get? Let's just have a look at the Aussie dollar, US dollar. And just get a little bit of a feeling here for what we're getting. Because you see the top on the Aussie dollar, US dollar is a little bit higher. For whatever odd reason. And there's also a nice little flag on this as well. And this one's not pulling up. But the New Zealand dollar, US dollar, that's kind of pulling up nicely. Is there anything at the back here that could change our view? Why is this? It's a little bit on the weak side here, but that might be just to come back and retest and go. Maybe if this comes back and retests and go, maybe we'll get something out of the Aussie dollar as well, going the other way. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it could be a false break. You know, you get false breaks. That's why you get the retest, you know, break and retest. But let's just see if we get the retest, because what it normally does, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I have told you guys this before, but what you get is when it breaks out, let's use the pen again. If it breaks out, and then it might come back, retest that level, and then continue on to the upside, or it'll break down on a false breakout. That's how you determine whether it's a good breakout or a false breakout. Besides the fact that you've got a candle that's partly below the resistance and partly above the resistance, you don't have a clear green candle to the upside. So in these cases, it's normally better to wait for the retest and then get the run to the upside. I normally do jump in a little bit early. I've always been like that. But for example, here you see where that green candle breaks out. Some of it's still down, some of it's out, but then the next green candle is straight out, and then you're in and you're going for the long. But here as well, we're kind of on 50-50. So what we could do is just either wait for the next candle to go green, or just wait for the retest, and then if it proves strong and goes up, then you can grab that trade. And in that time, you might find that the Australian dollar, US dollar gives a good signal as well. Maybe we'll get something out of this as well. But yeah, I'm really adverse to sitting in a trade over the weekend, and it's getting late on my side to be sitting watching these trades. Okay. Tesla's done nothing for the last week. That's because people are not sure what Tesla's going to do. People are confused about Tesla. When people invest in companies, they invest with a view to making a profit sometime in the future. And if you're not sure what that future is going to be, then you're not going to invest in it either way. And at the moment, people are not even sure that Elon Musk is going to be the CEO, is going to put someone else in charge or whatever the case. And there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of stories. And then there's the Trump tariffs and the tariffs with the Automobile Association and all the rest of it that are affecting it. So people are just unsure. People don't know if they want to put their money in Tesla or not. So it is kind of going to just sit there and do nothing for now. Because if you own it, you don't want to sell it. And if you're buying, you don't really want to buy it. Because even myself, I was going to add to my trade. And then I thought, wow, hang on a minute. Maybe I should wait. Wait and see what's happening there. So I didn't add to it. I added to a bunch of other things, but not that. So people are cautious. And that's why Tesla is doing what it's doing. Yeah, there might be. And also, that's another thing you guys have got to watch out for. And I actually forgot to mention it. You see this, you got the wick, you got this, like, this could be a pincer top. And a pincer top is dangerous. A pincer top, I don't know if you know what that is. That's when you get two candles next to each other, very fine with two little points, and they're straight up like this, okay? And then that red candle comes down and it closes. That's a pincer top. Normally what happens after a pincer top is something like this. You see this long red thing down here. That's normally what happens after a pincer top, just for info. But what you got to watch out for on a long weekend or before a holiday is, what did I say? The pros are going on holiday. What do they do when they go on holiday? They negotiate their portfolios before they go. They look at what they're keeping, what they're selling, and then you get the sell-off. You get the sell-off. Let's just sell out, and we'll come back on Monday. So you might get a bit of a sell-off. So watch out for that. I know it's Forex. It just depends which way it's selling off and who's selling against who. But you get some readjustments in the portfolio or some adjusting in the portfolio because they're going away until Monday or Tuesday, and there's the big money moves. So watch out for that as well. But yeah, watch out for that pincer top. That could be tricky. So taking profit, when I say taking profit, it might also just be just adjusting the portfolio for the weekend because they're going for the same weekend that you are. And that's a lot of money. It could go the other way as well. They could adjust it the other way because they might be in New Zealand or New Zealand. Remember, it's one currency against another at the end of the day. On the indexes, you might get some selling off because on the indexes, you've got a situation of definitely I'm coming back on Tuesday, so I'm, cleaning out, yeah. So that could have quite a nasty spin-off on the markets. Let's hope that doesn't happen with oil. Because oil is the dung, man. That's my thing. Okay, so US dollar, I'm going to put in place of gold. And then we can watch it here. I just want to draw that horizontal line in over there. Just keep an eye on it. I'm just going to put it onto smalls. We can see what's going on here. Okay. FTSE has hit a resistance area. One thing to keep in mind about the FTSE is it tends to follow everything else, but it stays in a range. So, whether it's all the indexes tend to go with each other because the sentiment is kind of worldwide. So it's very doubtful that the FTSE, no, that's not the one, that's the Tech 100, UK 100. The FTSE is not going to go flying to the upside if the US 500 goes flying to the downside. So keep that in mind. What I would say with a FTSE is if it goes up, it'll probably go up to this level up here to pick up the supply of money, which would make sense because there is a level here. And if it goes down, it'll come down to this level down here at 79 and pick up money there to go up. So it's got two areas to look at. Let's draw them in. It's clearly out of interest. Let's draw them in. So the upside level is over here, and the downside level is over here. And that's where the money is on the FTSE. The FTSE tends to trade in a range in any event, but I would say if it comes down, it's going to pick money up here. If it goes up, it's going to pick money up there. Further than that, you've got a trend heading up. I don't know. It's also in a flag, so it could break to the upside. But what I would do with the FTSE, because the markets are what they are at the moment, and because the markets are sort of iffy, obviously I wouldn't trade it today before the weekend. But if I was going to trade it, I'd wait for it just to do one of the two. Just wait for it to pick up one of these either supply or demand levels, and that'll give you a good run. You can also draw your support and resistance in here, but it'll be further away. So I'm looking for a quicker trade. A quicker trade will be to look for the supply and demand level here on the FTSE, because that's what I normally do with the FTSE, because unless you want to trade within that range, which is up there and down there. You can also use the trend line here, which will give you a good, let's put a trend line in, see if it breaks to the downside, and just, yeah, you know what? It doesn't bode well for a long trade. Because even though there's a flag pattern here, this doesn't really bode well for a long trade. Kind of doesn't look great. And if you look at the rest of the markets as they are at the moment, that doesn't bode well for a long trade either way. Because the US 500 is also looking rather iffy as it stands at the moment. I was really thinking that the US 500 would push on, but people are just so nervous on these markets at the moment. I think so many people are now starting to sit on their hands. After all that volatility, people are starting to sit on their hands. But the problem with that is with the volatility, it wasn't really volatile. It was just kind of like someone would stand up and send the market down, and then someone would stand up and send the market up. It was just insane. It was whiplashing, which is not good. Look at it after the weekend, Kevin. Christian, trades on the 4-hour are the same as the daily. In fact, trading on the daily is fantastic. It's absolutely insanely fantastic. Best way you can possibly trade. Look, if you're in the Brent crude oil now, I've got this on the 4-hour because, and 4 hours just as good as I walk away. I don't sit and look at charts. I walk away. I just put it on the 4-hour because I like trading on the 4-hour. But if you want to trade on the day, it's no different, man. It's exactly the same. There you are on the day, nice long trade, exactly the same. Nothing wrong. Breaking to the upside. That's actually where you get your levels from at the end of the day. So whether it's day or H4, pretty much the same thing. H4 is as close to the day as you'll ever get. If I call something long on the H4, you can pretty much be assured that it's long on the day. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, even here, if we go to day, the day chart, it's lovely and long. It's just that because it's a day, that candle's not going to close now, is it? But at the end of the day, you could come in and say, well, that's pretty strong. Looks like a long trade. You could take the trade and go long on the day. On the day, you're going to get supply and demand in it as well. There's a demand level down there. The supply levels up there. So, yeah, just trade it the same way we trade the 4 hours. The examples are exactly the same. Exactly the same. I'll try and do more daily trades for you as well, so that you get the idea. Okay, so when we're trading, we'll look at day as well and just give you a bit of concept. But think about it this way. I get a lot of my levels from the day in the first place, and then I take them down to the 4 hour. So if I've called it long on the day, it's probably long on the 4 hour. Or if it's long on the 4 hour, it's probably long on the day. Sometimes we even look at the weekly. Sometimes like this, we'll go to the weekly and we'll say, what's happening on the weekly? Okay, this is the New Zealand dollar, US dollar that you would want to go long on. And on the weekly, it looks like an amazing long trade. Looks good for a weekly trade. You can trade on the weekly as well. You know, then that's really slow trading, but why not? If you've only got the weekends available to you and you want to take trades on a Monday morning, you can put a trade in for the week based on the weekly chart. Exactly the same system. It's going to work for you. The thing to understand about the squiggly lines and the charts and what have you is trading's a 50-50 game. It doesn't really matter, you know, what time frame you're trading on or where you are. It's always going to be a 50-50 game. Probably more against you the faster the time frames get, because 99% of traders do lose on the 5-minute charts. But it still remains effectively a 50-50 game, and you just have to know that you're probably going to lose more trades than you win at the end of the day. So the idea is to try and make more on the wins than you do on the losses. But yeah, like I say, it's very much a 50-50 game either way. But trade on the higher time frames, it's, you know how many traders, how many long-term traders that have been trading for a long time ended up getting sucked into trading on the 5-minute charts, whether it be a few videos they watched or people they watched or people they heard. You get sucked into this, I'm going to trade on the 5-minute charts. I got sucked into it so many times. I even traded on the 1-minute charts, can you imagine? And then you find yourself gravitating back to the slower time frames and going back to the 4-hour and the day. Now, I started with a 1-day trading with shares. And it's position trading. It's called position trading. It's actually not called swing trading. I think I've explained it to you guys before. Swing trading is when you take it long and then swing it short and then swing it long. Position trading is what we do. You take a position in the market with a plan and a stop loss and a take profit planned, and you take that position. That's a position trade. You've positioned the trade, you walk away, you leave the trade with the hopes that it's going to play out in your favor, the high probability it's going to work for you. It's a position trade. It's as simple as it gets. So if you're going to trade on the day chart, it's a position trade. And that's what we do here. We position trade. So you're in the right place for that. Don't worry. And I'll try and, like I say, take a few trades on the day. Most Forex pairs are in the range for the weekend. And David, the Forex pairs will be in a range for the weekend because, like I said, the pros are going to be leveling out their trades. They're going to be settling their trades for the weekend. They don't sit in trades over the weekend most of the time. They look at what they need to, where they need to put it. They set their trades up for a safe position over the holiday. Been watching my videos, Daniel. Yeah, I always say everybody believes that they're part of the winning percentage. Like if 70% of traders lose, then clearly we all believe that we're going to be part of the 30%. And it's a good mentality to have, and that's the mentality that everyone has. If you've got 99% of people lose, we'll still believe that we're going to be part of that 1% that's going to win. Why not? We all do. And that's how it goes. So yeah, it looks like our friend that was begging has not come back after he was sidelined for 10 minutes. Interesting. But yeah, everything will kind of start going sideways now because, okay, look, your USA has still got a whole trading day ahead of it. So there will be some movement there, but they'll also start settling their trades and moving in and out of their trades today. Because that's what the pros do. You got to think about that as well. Those are the fundamentals you should be thinking about. You know, we think about the fundamentals as the CPI and the jobs figures and things like that. Those are not the fundamentals. The fundamentals are what's really happening with the other traders, what's happening in the background, what's happening with the liquidity, what are people doing with the money. That's what's important. Yeah, on New Zealand dollar, US dollar, I agree with you, Kevin. It does look, uh, ooh, look, it's doing well. So it's going to go to the upside now. Probably will go up. It looks good on the day as well, actually. It looks really good. It looks kind of high. Look, if you look at the day and you look left, you can see there's a lot of room. I mean, it's got to get all the way up to here, hasn't it? Got to get all the way up to the 62. It's quite a long way to go. You know, it's got quite a distance to travel, and it looks pretty good. You take it back to the 4 hour. There's a lot of room for it to move up, so it's probably a good trade. Probably a good trade. It's just coming at a bad time. That's all. So, yeah, you see, there you go, Christian. You see, Kevin also looks at both the 4 hour and daily. I think most of us do. Most of us look through the daily and the 4 hour and even the weekly. I've been known to even look at the monthly. You know, just see what's happening, man, and take your trades based on that. I mean, this New Zealand dollar, US dollar. If you're looking to trade this now, I mean, you can look at it just on the 4 hour, but I mean, if you go up to the daily, it's a fantastic trade. I mean, it's a great trade to look at. So, and it is still a double top that it's broken through, because there's the top, there's the top. It's just much further apart because it's, you know, it's on the day here, and it looks good. It looks like an absolutely amazing trade. It's over the weekend and regret it on Tuesday morning. I don't know. I've still got to get rid of all those other trades on the other account. Let's go and see what they look like, actually. Okay, let's just put this over here. And what the other trades are looking like. But I'll tell you what's killing me on the other side is the US dollar ZAR trade. That is absolutely murdering me as the South African rand decides to strengthen against the dollar. The Euro, Great British Pound, and Brent crude oil is doing okay there. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then the US dollar, Canadian dollar, I need to look elsewhere for that. Just go back over here. Where's my US dollar, Canadian dollar? That's not doing too hot. Okay. Never easy, is it? Okay, just gone long, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Tight stop loss at the bottom of the wick. Oh no, Shane is in. That'll be the end. It'll go down now. The NAS. Daniel, let's have a look at the NAS. Leave that on. I'm just going to use the US 500 to check the NAS. Okay. Yeah, there's a gap. But no, the gap's filled, eh? Wait. That gap? Is that gap filled? It might be. That gap might be filled. You might be looking for something that's not there. But let's have a look at the NAS quickly and just see. It's always good to look on the day for this one. And I'm just going to quickly play around with it a bit. Because it is the NASDAQ after all. The NASDAQ is like super volatile. We're going to do this, okay? There you go. There's your NASDAQ. That's what we're trading. Not even putting support and resistance in here. because that's too far away. Literally going to use the trend line. Okay. On the day, Daniel, there's your trade. It needs to go and break through this. Okay, then you're long. At the moment, it's still on the bearish side, on the short. I wouldn't go short on it just yet, though. But it looks like it might break through there. Let's just take it back to the 4 hour and see what it looks like there. And yeah. Yeah, well, I would wait for it to break through that level there. Just looking here, there's a lot of movement to the upside here. Good chance it might come down, even though there's only 2 candles there. That is an excessively long candle. So it might come down. There might be some money lying around here. It might come down to this to pick it up. There's no real open gaps. These gaps are closed up. I think it could come down and pick up this money, or it could just break through here and go up. If it breaks through, it'll go up. Otherwise, it's going to come down and come and fetch this money here. My concern for the long weekend is people might sell off just to, go into the weekend. So you might get a bit of a sell-off here, back down to these levels, and then back up on Tuesday. So on that front, and then the US 500 is kind of going to follow the same way the NAS does, because that's what it does. It goes the same way. See, there's a little gap there as well. It's been filled, that gap. I'd say this is exactly the same chart, US 500 and the NAS. So that it follows it very closely. The same thing could come down, pick up this money, or it could shoot to the upside, but it's going to have to break through that level and break to the upside. It's actually, I wouldn't say more relaxing, but kind of easier to trade the US 500 than it is the NASDAQ. Okay. Yeah, when Trump speaks, it will go mad. It's a fact. Yeah, no, rather don't, especially the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is vicious. And if you're not a seasoned trader, I'd recommend the S&P 500 rather than the NASDAQ. But the NASDAQ can be quite vicious and swingy, particularly when somebody stands up and says something strange. What you guys have got to remember is there has been some tax drain now as well. So there's money moving around, and that also will affect things in the indexes. Things are getting paid and whatnot at the moment. So that money might be coming out of the markets as well. So you might get a little bit of downside at the moment, and then it will turn around and swing back up again, probably next week. But it's in all probability. Can't say for sure. Trump doesn't sleep over the weekends. No, he doesn't sleep at night as well, I believe. I believe he's like constantly awake, that dude, man. Hardly ever sleeps. He just stays awake. Puts matchsticks in his eyes and just walks around with his eyes open the whole time. Yeah, that's for sure. Interesting stuff. The tweets are interesting. Have you guys noticed on... Okay, it's not called Twitter anymore, eh? It's called... What? X. Right, yeah, X. I don't deal with it much anymore because it just rolls up and whatnot. But when I look on Twitter, there's so many Elon Musk posts, and they're all fake, I think. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have noticed the same thing. All these people advertising Elon Musk to me, and I can see they're all fake posts. But I don't even look at that stuff most of the time. It's quite insane. It's a bit like Facebook as well. It's just post after post after post after post. You know, I actually prefer the YouTube because you get almost like it's always there. You know, the information's always there. Go back to it, and it's always around, and it's evergreen. You know, it's kind of there all the time. Whereas Facebook, it goes up and just disappears. I hardly even use it. I do have a link to my Facebook page there if anyone wants to like it or join or whatever, but I don't pay it as much attention. It's just there. Yeah, I try and post to those people as much as I can. I kind of, you know, try and give information here and there, but it's not big time. I've got a Facebook page called Learn to Trade the Stock Market as well. But yeah, I just basically post from YouTube to there. YouTube's a better account. Pleasure, Daniel. Shane, don't start sending kisses. Shane's just happy because he's winning at the moment. His New Zealand dollar, US dollar trade is winning. Look, it's doing well. Our Brent crude oil trade, it's okay. It's not too bad. I thought it was going to go bad. Doing okay. Yeah, just keep Shane the way he is. It's fine. He's going to send hearts soon. Send him a heart back. There you go. Oh, no. The guy's trying to sell you all everything is not sending any kisses, is he? Oh, okay. There you go. So I don't like to see a red candle on Brent at the moment because I'm sitting long on that and we're going into the weekend. So that's... Show me the money. Yeah. The money. But it's, yeah, nothing's really moving, is it? If you think about it, everything's kind of just sitting around because I think everyone's just leveling their portfolios out for the weekend. Obviously, Shane's sending hearts, guys. Oh, no. The Grinch is gone, yeah. The Grinch. Yeah. Nice hearts there, Shane. Love the hearts. Great stuff. Love it. I don't want to send you guys any hearts. You might run away. Like, oh, I'm not going back to that channel. Rob's sending hearts. I'll leave that to Shane. That's fine. That's perfect. So, what's your target there, Shane, on the New Zealand dollar? God. Must be more than 60. 61. Oh, wow. Luckily, Daniel, Kevin, and Shane live really far apart. For all the other guys on the channel. Yeah. But if the guys are ever all together, whew, it's going to be an insane night. Come on, Shane, don't tell me you haven't worked out your target. You've got to work out your target, man. 60235. Okay, 60235. Let's have a look at Shane's trade. 60235. Yeah, it's not bad, actually. There. Nice target. Just having a look. Boom, 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 boom. You could actually get 603. 602 to 603. Yeah, it's a good target. A good target to have. It's right there. It's quite nice. Okay, that thing's a menace. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I must say, guys, if you guys are taking funded trader accounts and they ask you which platform you want, you know what? On the funded trader accounts, the one thing I've figured out is that this C trader is the best. It's really, really good. You do get trading view on the other ones, but they're very, it's not that great as the normal trading view that you have. So, and most of them don't offer you MT5, but my MT5's on my cash account and whatnot. But I just want to show you, for example, I tried out this reload this. I just want to see if it comes back. I'm going to take you there now, and we will have a look. Obviously, my internet's messing around or something here. But okay. Just going to take you over there. I'm just going to show you what the trading view looks like. Totally out of interest. So took on this, it's GUI trade, it's DX trade or whatever. I've just lost those 3 charts there already. You see, it's not that great. Now, the thing that it doesn't have the trailing stop, doesn't have the auto stops, but it does have this trading view on it, which is great. See, I'm losing $60 now. I was up earlier. But there's a trade, there's a trade, there's a trade. Okay. So South African Rand, US dollar, Brent crude oil, Euro, Great British Pound on this account. Now, what I found is it looks nice and it looks great and it's got all these fancy things. I mean, that's amazing. It's got all this fancy stuff on it and all this and whatnot, like trading view, but there's a few factors that are missing that you get on C-Trader that are really much nicer, that are really quite good. But if you like trading view, this can be the one that you could go for. It's not too bad. You get this sort of standard chart with it as well. Looks like that, which looks very much like trading view. It's not too bad. But if you are taking on a, see my watch list now, this is gone. That's actually quite annoying. But if you are taking on an account like that, then I think C-Trader is your better choice. I must be honest. That's my feeling on it. You know, I'd say go with a C-Trader if you're taking on an account. DX Trade is okay, like I showed you now, but I quite like. I'm actually quite impressed. I must say, impressed with this C-Trading broker thing. You know, I've been trading on MT5 for many years. Before that, I was on many other platforms, and I've been through a lot of different platforms, and even trading view as such. And I gotta say, I'm very, very impressed with this little guy. Not bad at all. It does a lot. It does so much for what it is. I mean, I expected a lot less from it, with it being from a funded account. I expected so much less from it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I don't know if you guys have tried different accounts and different platforms and stuff. But I got to say, I'm very impressed. This year, when we took this account, was the very first time that I used C-Trader, because I didn't have funded accounts before. And got to say, I'm very, very impressed with it. Very, very impressed. Compared to a lot of the stuff that I've used. It's got a lot of nice little features, a lot of decent little features on it. And, you know, if you're into that sort of thing, go for it. It is nice and clean, Shane. I think it is a nice, clean, charting package. I've got to say. Yeah, look, Kevin, I've used MT5 for many years. And I got to say, it's when I started using it, it was, I'd say, state of the art, compared to everything else. It's kind of gotten old now. It's a bit like you bought a BMW in 2015 and you're still driving it, and it's kind of just getting old now, and you're looking at it and thinking, I could do with a new one now. That's kind of how it feels. It was great. It was the Rolls Royce, but now it's just kind of neither here nor there. And I'd actually say that C-Trader's got more functionality than MT5, But what's wrong with C-Trader is I don't think you can get it with a cash broker. I haven't seen it with a cash broker. And what my MT5 has obviously got from my broker is every single product on earth. Okay, so any share, any index, any currency, it's there. It's my stuff. I can trade it. But that's cash account. And if it was on C-Trader, I think it would be really nice. Whereas with a funded account on C-Trader, you only get what they offer you, and that's the problem. So, but I must say, as a platform, I'm very, very impressed. It's super. Yeah. Yeah, I know I trade with MT5, and really my take profit is pretty much my take profit, and I wouldn't can't put 3. Iffy, yeah. It's kind of like, like I say, it's iffy. But it's a fantastic. I mean, MT5. I can't say anything bad about them. I mean, I've been trading with them for so long. It always interested me that they always had MT4 and MT5. So it's like they had MT4, they improved it to MT5, but they kept MT4. That always amused me because it had a few different functionality things. But yeah, it works. Let me say it works. Like anything else, it works. But what I find with it is there's a few things that it's lacking nowadays, where it's getting kind of old. And look, the reason I keep them is because that's what my broker gives me, and it's got all my stuff on it. So that's why I use them, and it doesn't really matter to me. But it can do just about most of the stuff, everything. All I'm saying is I'm very, very impressed with this. If you are taking a funded account, they're going to ask you which platform do you want. And like I say, that DX Trade is great, and it's got trading view on it and whatnot. But there's a few things on there that it doesn't have that actually C-Trader does have. It's quite interesting. One of them being the trailing stop, one of them being the ability to draw lines and whatnot. But I believe there is now a functionality on that DX, which is no, that's FX. Sorry, we can do the replay trading like trading view. No, I think that's FX, not them. Yeah. No, I think, Shane, a lot of brokers are, or a lot of funded brokers are using C-Trader. A cash account using C-Trader, I haven't seen many, but that's great. I'd like to see it on a cash account. It's a pretty good platform, I gotta say. Super impressed. When I took it on, I thought, oh, here comes trouble. I'm taking on this thing. And the first thing I saw was this orange-green thing, and I thought, oh, here we go. What we're getting here. But yeah, I started working with it. I was like, wow, this is like really super good. I mean, it's really on a par with TradingView. You know what it's lacking is for those of guys who want to use an insane amount of indicators, because that's what TradingView offers you, is an insane amount of indicators. And I don't use indicators, so that doesn't really matter to me. So I presume it kind of matters, or it kind of makes a difference as to what matters to you in your personal capacity. Like I don't need all of that stuff. I need more trading functionality, and the trading functionality is what's really good on this particular program in comparison to, say, something else. So, see, the interesting thing about, you see, this is, we go here and we just take our trades here, but you can just do a buy and a sell here, one-click trading. Whereas on the DX trade, you do have to tell it you want one-click trading, otherwise it doesn't give you the one-click trading straight up. But there is a lot of other functionality with it that's really good, and I'll go through it in another video for the guys that want it. It's not that bad. It's actually, I gotta say, it's good as well, but I just think this is better. And if I was gonna look again, I'd probably take C-Trader next time again. It's not bad at all. US natural gas storage report due at off-boss for SA time. Okay. Natural gas. I always laugh at natural gas. Natural gas. We can all produce our own natural gas, man. Danny, you can buy extra indicators for C-Trader from Click Alga. Danny, for those who want indicators, then, that's the thing. Most people who want a lot of indicators will go with a trading view platform if that's what your broker offers. You must remember, you don't need to pay for a platform. Your broker offers you the platforms, so you take what they got. For a trader like me, I don't need indicators, but I do like the ability to do certain things with my trades, like put a trailing stop or, work out my trade sizes, things like that, and draw these little blockies, and I need a trend line and that sort of stuff, and I need to be able to do it with ease. So that would be kind of important to me, and one-click trading, that sort of stuff. So that's what's important to me, whereas to other people, maybe what's really important to them is a lot of indicators. Most people that want a lot of indicators will probably want a trading view package or something like that, because they got loads of indicators. And nobody really wants to pay for more indicators, because when you get a package from your broker, generally it's all free. The broker's making money out of you, especially if it's a cash account. You're paying with your every trade you take, you pay overnight fees, all that sort of stuff. It's in there. They're making money. And they give you the platform with all the indicators on it. You don't want to be paying for more indicators. And that's another annoying thing about MT5. You got this MQL5 community on the top right-hand corner, and you go in there, and if you want all the extra stuff, you have to buy it or pay for it. That's another thing that's irritating about MT5. Whereas most of the stuff that you need is provided for by the broker on a chart. So why would you need to buy more? Just saying. New Zealand Consumer Price Index, Q&Q, doing the New Zealand dollar moves. Okay. Rainfall. C-Trader is good on the phone too. Actually, no, I haven't put it on my phone, to be honest with you. I trade on Trade Locker, but that is the option I've got. Pretty much the same look as C-Trader. Yeah, there's another one, Trade Locker. I must actually try that out as well. See what that's about. I haven't used that. You reckon MT is owned by Russia? Okay, that's quite interesting. That's a bit like their rocket program. It's a bit behind. Everything's old, and used. You find like these old rusty spaceships lying in the warehouses and whatnot, got left behind from the old days. Yeah, you know what I mean. Maybe that's why MT5 hasn't really moved forward. But I would expect these platforms to kind of move forward with the time as we go, not sit in the old days. sit where they are. That's kind of where we stuck. That's where we left off. But yeah, that one thing I did notice about MT5 is you got to go to the MQL5 community. You got to buy all the extra stuff. There's a lot of free stuff there, but I never really use it because I don't need it. But once again, buy more indicators. Why? It gets offered. The old days, or when I say the old days, not that old days. I mean, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You got platforms from the brokers, and they had everything on that you needed. You didn't go and buy anything extra for them. And I can understand. Danny says it can't get on with MT5, and I can understand. MT5 is actually quite a complicated program to get used to, and it took me a couple of days to get used to it as well. It's not something you go on and everything's there. That's another thing I found about CTrader, by the way. I'm promoting this program. I don't even know the Oaks, to be honest. It's crazy. But I must say that with MT5, when I got onto it, it took me quite a while to figure everything out. Whereas with CTrader, it's like, boom, there you go. It's straight up, easy. It's all there. It's there for you. It's actually very, very easy to use. User-friendly. It's amazing. I got to say, I actually rave about them. It's actually quite good. They're quite good. Yeah, Shane, that might be a good idea. If there's going to be some rubbish in the markets later, it might be a good idea. Take your stop loss up, but it might get taken out quite quickly, yeah. But yeah, you might want to protect the trade. Yeah. So old Brent crude oil wants to come down now, does it? Great. All I need. The stop loss is far away from Brent crude oil. I'm just going to leave this trade, and I'm not going to get out. I'm going to leave it on. See how we go. And if it wasn't for the long weekend, I would have bought the New Zealand dollar, US dollar as well. By the way, Shane, I would have gone in with you, but I just don't feel like watching it. Okay. There you go, free trade. So I always tell you guys, if you move your stop loss up to cost, you haven't lost anything. It's a free trade. It's not costing you anything. Whereas if you have the stop loss, it's costing you money. It's quite a big difference. Yeah. So you say gold looks like it wants to push down. Gold. I'm just going to have a look at gold. Take this one out because we don't need it. Yep. Gold is going to push down to here. Oh, that's a terrible color. Oh, let's change that. I'm going to draw that in again. I'm just going to draw in a much nicer way, but there. That's what I'm thinking gold's going to. I'm thinking gold's coming to fetch this money all the way down here. There's a big pot of gold lying here. Probably coming to fetch it. Most likely coming to fetch it. Let's just do something interesting really quickly on gold. Let's draw this guy in here. All right. Now that's interesting. So if it breaks through this support, it's going to go all the way down, grab this money. Doesn't break through the support and it goes up and it's continuing on to the upside. Just an interesting one for gold. And there's gold for you. Sitting right on the line, eh? Interesting. I love moving my stop loss to break even when I can, because then it's a free trade. It doesn't cost me anything. Then when it goes into loss, I don't feel that pain or that severe pain that I get. Like, oh no, like evil Dr. Evil. I suppose there's no chance of these trades actually doing well here, eh? US dollar ZAR. So let's see. Positions. Really, really nasty. Not sure if I should keep those trades over the weekend. I have a better look at the US dollar ZA. Oh, you guys can't see what's going on here. Sorry, man. Just having a look at something else here. Dum 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 dum. Right. That's actually on a support, so that's okay. All right. Ah, I needed to do that. Okay, now I'm back on our charts. Best Loser Wins is quite an old book, Shane. It's a very, very good rendition of what we talk about. I think Tom wrote that one. But what you have to understand is he's, well, it will actually suit you, Shane, because you like fast trading. Very much a 5-minute trader. What he will teach you is you can't trade like another trader. So, for example, even though it'll show you the psychology behind trading that we talk about all the time, and he's very good at that, he's also going to tell you that you can't just do what he does and think that you're going to win, because he makes it look easy. But he's got a psychology that it's very difficult to copy. He'll take very high stakes trades on very low time frames, trade them, and he worked. And you guys think it looks easy, but he puts a lot of effort and work into designing his systems, and a lot of research goes into why he trades certain ways that most of you probably wouldn't be able to get around, or wouldn't figure it out, because you'll think you're just going to trade what he's showing you, but he actually, because the market's alive and it changes on a regular basis, he'll work out what happens every Tuesday, for example, at a certain time on a certain product, and he's going to trade according to that because he's worked that out in his system. And then that might change and he might work something else out in the future. And he's very successful, very, very, very successful with all that stuff. So it's a good book, good psychology, and it'll help you a lot. I've actually got a link to it in my description, by the way, if you want one. It's there. Go and grab it. It's at Amazon, I think. Okay. Yeah, it's all about the mindset, very much what we talk about on a regular basis. It's not so much about system as mindset. Some systems are, like I say, when it comes to the system side of his trading, also no indicators, very much, and in fact, not even support and resistance, just about nothing. He actually just waits for a price to go past a certain point and then do a sweep and then takes a trade, and he's very successful with that. But his whole system is based on strategy as well. You know, how his strategy works. And it's all about mindset. All about mindset at the end of the day. All about psychology. Very good stuff, though. On point. You'll find that most of the older traders, or traders that have been around for a long time, no matter what the their time frame, or whatever they trade on, or how much they trade, or whatever the case, they all kind of have the same ideals, and that is, it's not the lines that are going to make you the money, it's the strategy. And we all kind of have the same You gravitate to this at the end of the day. You realize that you need a business plan and you need a strategy to make the money. The lines aren't going to make you the money. If you watch Tom trade, he does live shows as well. If you watch him trade, there's absolutely no lines on his charts at all. Nothing. So, but yeah, and high stakes, very high stakes. Knows his stuff though. Does know his stuff. Definitely. Yeah, that's it, Daniel. It trades on market moves, the way the market moves. But it looks easy, but he does a hell of a lot of research into that, Daniel. He does a lot of research. He spends a lot of time in the background working out what markets are doing or what certain markets are doing. And he trades on a few certain products. I know he likes the DAX a lot as well. And yeah, the first time I saw him was many years ago. Many years ago when he was in a chat or a conference or something like that. And yeah, he's on point. Definitely on point. So if you want to learn anything, you can learn from him. Mostly about psychology though, and trading and whatnot. Pretty good. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna call it a day. I think this is gonna be quite a long video, which I wonder if anybody ever goes back to a live show and watches the whole video, because it's quite a long video if you think about it. I'm sitting here rambling on and talking to you guys, and while it's live, it's great, but I wonder if anybody actually goes and actually sits and watches the whole live show, because it's 2 hours, man. It's quite long. Maybe you skip through it, I don't know. But it's quite a long show. And come to think of it, I've never thought about that. But okay, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. It's been absolutely insane having you guys here. I want you guys to have a fantastic Easter, a wonderful holiday weekend. Take the weekend off, relax, sit back and enjoy. Sit back on the couch, watch some movies, do whatever. But also, do a bit of research over the weekend if you can. Because that's what your friend Tom does. He sits on those days and he works out what the markets are doing. And that's how he gets all those systems where he can make that money at the end of the day. He puts a lot of effort into it in the background, as far as I know. So, yeah. But yeah, enjoy the weekend and have a great holiday. Come back all fit and ready. There won't be a trade of the day tomorrow for the members, guys. Really sorry, but what can I give you a trade of the day on when the markets are closed? So there's no trade of the day tomorrow. But I will have one out for you on Monday again, because obviously the markets will be reopening on Monday. And even if there's not much going on for the day, I'll try and do a trade of the week or something like that. So for you guys, you will get your members trade of the day on Monday morning as usual, like everything else. And then for the whole week, of course. But Friday, tomorrow, looks like it's a dead day tomorrow. So we're just going to enjoy the day off. And if you can do some research over the weekend, do it. Enjoy it. David, yeah. Do you know, David, your trade did really well. The Great British Pound US dollar. It actually did really well. We made quite a bit of money on that. 200 and something dollars on this account. It was great. Good trade, man. It was good. You were worried about it, but it actually worked out. I hope you made money on it. Yeah, Shane, if you want a quick link to the book, it's down in my description as well. Danny, pleasure, Shane. Guys, thanks for watching. Let me find my way out of this live show. I've got to find the exit. Yeah, I've got so much going on here. Oh, one day I'm gonna show you the mess that sits in front of me, and then you'll see all these things and wires and stuff. Looks like one of those telephone exchange. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But one day I'll show you this mess and of screens and stuff. Yeah, it's not all fancy and neat like some of the acts, but it is what it is. Eh? Okay, guys, I'm going to be on my way. I want to thank you for watching. I want you to enjoy the weekend and have a good time. And I'm going to see you guys back here next week. Don't forget to watch the shows that are out there. Have a good one. Keep your feet on the ground. Reach for the sky. Cheers. Ciao. Bye, guys.